Sit!
Welcome to the Dynasty Nerds Fantasy Football Podcast, where we discuss Dynasty strategy, rankings, and all things NFL. So get ready to geek out on fantasy football with your host, Rich Dotson.
And welcome to the Dynasty Nerd Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm Rich Dotson. He's Matt O'Hara.
Hey.
He's Garret Price.
How's it going?
And over there off the cam is Jared Wackerly.
Hello.
1 week before we go to, week and a half before we go to the FF Expo, the Fantasy
True.
Football Expo in Canton. So if you're in the town, plan on going, we'll be around. We'll be make sure you stop by the Dynasty panel, which we host every single year.
Yes, sir.
That'll be at noon, not on the main stage, which is weird. They don't give us a main stage for the Dynasty panel
always
because we have the biggest crowd out of like everybody every single year.
Yeah.
It crushes. I think on the main stage will be
and the type of people
other
that come to an event like that, the FF Expo, is Dynasty people. Like your normal average redraft fans, like, yeah, I'm not going to something like that. Yeah. It's your hardcore people
I'll
that go
buy
to
a
that kind of stuff.
magazine.
Yeah, it's your hardcore people that go to that kind of stuff.
Sometimes people just want to see certain people too. Like, we'll see, oh, JJ Zacharyason's going to be there.
No.
Oh, Matt Harmon. Are they both going to be there this year?
I know Matt is.
And JJ's going to try and make it considerate.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, today we're back. Complete opposite where the expo is, which will be in Canton, Ohio, the week of August 9th. So that's gonna be fun. I'll be at the poker tournament on August 9th, playing that every year. See how I do. I'm all in. I'm all out.
And I'm out.
We are covering the AFC West today, Matt.
Yes, that's far from us, the West.
It is far from us Midwesters.
Right.
Even though we're Midwest, it's kind of weird because we're more Mideast.
Yeah, I was going to say, we're more east.
We are more
And-
east.
In a way, we're north because we're actually, it's like the lakes than Canada. But I guess if you look at like Washington, North Dakota, that's higher. But yeah, it's more Midwestern culture.
I'd like to say we're the North Shores.
Yeah.
We're in the North
Yeah.
Shores.
What are you talking about?
Where Ohio's actually located compared to actually being a Midwesterner.
But shout out to all the Midwesterners. They all know what's up. Like, it
Sure.
really is the heart of America.
But we are definitely Midwesterners at heart, no
Culture.
matter where we are located on the map.
For sure.
Not many better people than people out
Amen.
of the Cleveland area. I'm just going to say, if you met one, you know what I'm talking about.
It's true.
That's what they say.
All right, so on to the Denver Broncos.
That's the real West.
Also a great town.
I've never been to Colorado.
Very
Me
fun.
neither.
Dude, Colorado's pretty dope.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty sweet.
I think if I had to pick a state to live in outside of Ohio, I might pick Colorado.
I might be with you on that.
They say a lot of people that live in like the Denver area, a lot of them come from Ohio.
Really?
It's a very beautiful
I made that up.
state.
But you said it confidently, so I believed you.
Actually,
It is a beautiful state, and it's a nice contrast to what we got going on here. All the mountains, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Good
Obviously,
snowboard.
I'd probably just move to another Midwest state. I'd be like, all right, now I'm in Illinois, I guess.
You'd be good in North Dakota.
yeah, you would be a good North Dakotian.
I might like, I don't know. I'm worried I'd get bored, though. Like, too many trees. I don't know.
Fair.
All right, let's move on. Denver Broncos quarterbacks Bo Nix, Jared Stidham, and Sam Ehlinger. At the running back position, they have JK Dobbins, RJ Harvey, Audric Estime, and Jaleel McLaughlin, Tyler Beatty, Blake Watson. So all those guys are kind of at least names at some point. At the tight end position, they have Evan Engram, Adam Troutman, Nate.
I wrote good damn Troutman.
Good damn Troutman. Lucas Krull. That's really the only ones of note there. And at the wide receiver position, they have Courtland Sutton, the newly re-signed Courtland Sutton, Marvin Mims Jr., Devon Vele, sorry, Pat Bryant, Troy Franklin, and A.T. Perry, I guess. That's about
No
it.
need to mention.
Yeah, right. That's it.
Well, again, another team that has some very solid options here from a Dynasty perspective. Love to see a guy like Courtland Sutton after the year he put up. Like, gosh, he puts up this big year, finishes his wide receiver 15 overall, averaged 13.7 points per game, and now he's going to leave Denver and Sean Payton. Nope. Locked up, $33 million a year, getting paid.
4-year, $92 million, $41 million guaranteed.
Good for him. He's had like such a up and down kind of rough career.
Yep.
So I'm happy for him that he kind of like finally settled in. He's been healthy and able to like get with the right system.
He's kind of always battling little things.
Yeah.
Nothing really big, but missed chunks here and there of all the years.
Paid.
You think
Probably.
That much money for a guy who didn't even break 1,000 yards last year?
Sutton? Yeah.
Listen, solid in the offense, great.
I think
cool,
that-
got the money. I'm just saying, like,
I think
that's a
that-
lot of coin. Like,
Don't you think this is more about not wanting to break up the band, especially for a young quarterback that found success?
This is more of a Bo Nix thing more than anything else.
Yeah, I totally agree.
You can replace a bass player, though.
I mean, it depends on the bass player.
Well,
Flea?
Gordon
It's a
Slap
fair-
at a
I feel like it's
base.
a
You
fair
you can't
contract,
you can't
though.
replace Flea from
he's
the Red
not-
Hot Chili
he's
Peppers.
Not Flea, though. He's more of like.
But you're just saying you're painting in broad strokes right now, my
yeah,
man. And
he's
I'm
the
just
Candlebox bass player.
All I'm saying.
Who's that
is-
guy's name?
I don't know.
Yeah, I can tell you.
How many base players can you name? Period. Probably less than
Flea.
5.
That's why I named Flea.
Okay. I can name more, but we won't go on. This is not a music show.
You think you could do 5?
Bass players?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. Paul McCartney's number 2. Just a very easy one, by the way.
Okay.
There you go.
Well,
Yeah.
the
Okay.
layup that is the Beatles. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. Well, anyways, Courtland Sutton.
Yep.
Wide receiver 29.
Yeah. Didn't crack 1,000 yards. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you
No,
off.
he's fine.
See how it can mess you up too?
Oh, no!
My bad.
Got him. Changed our rating.
It's really. I'm wondering how that's going to change everything. You know, Garrett was really not. Me and Garrett, we like Marvin Mims. You're a little. You're real high on him as your big sleeper. I like Marvin Mims. They drafted a guy like Pat Bryant in the 3rd round, who we thought come in and play. Still can be that slot role player like Michael Thomas, but I think the number one guy that we're excited about in the passing game here is Evan Engram, right? Like to kind of play in and play that tight end role in this offense. And we've seen, Sean Payton's tight ends continually be high-end fantasy football assets. And even Evan Ingram's already out here raving, at 30 years old, 10 last year about like, wow, man, I love playing this offense. It really like shows all my strengths and hopefully like even kind of mention that Joker role out there. So for me, like, kudos to Courtland Sutton on getting that deal, 4 years, $92 million. I would expect him to kind of be right where he kind of was last year, maybe even a little bit lower, maybe closer. Like I'd like to know where you have him projected, Garrett.
Who, Courtland Sutton?
Yeah, because I would see him finishing anywhere from like 19 to 22 range right there. Because I think Evan Ingram's going to come in and take way more targets.
I have him surprisingly lower than I would have expected him to, because I would have expected him to be right in that low wide receiver 2 range as well. He actually ended up as wide receiver 29 for me when all was said and done. So part of that was kind of what you guys mentioned before, looking at what he did last year. I think he's going to replicate a similar type season. But even though he gets 125 targets, that's what I have him projected at. He doesn't catch a crazy high percentage of his targets. And he doesn't have like an amazing yards per route run type of thing either. So that's going to be the thing, is like, how many touchdowns does he get? I have him projected at 8 right now, which I think is a pretty fair number.
Yeah.
2 more than last year. You're only at 6.
Yeah. So I upped that, but it still only put him at wide receiver 29.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm totally like that. I mean, again, on a points per game basis, last year is wide receiver 28. So that's where he kind of landed on a points per game basis.
So that kind of fits then.
ADP's wide receiver 40.
Okay.
So some value there. I'm sure we'll see a little bump there now with the new contract, a little bit more guaranteed years there. We saw the emergence of Bo Nix last year, finished his quarterback 9, 19.4 points per game, so good for 10th overall on a points per game basis. And even though like he had a little bit of rough start, I mean, once you take he finished his quarterback 9, but when you look at the later in the year, not even like go from like week 5 on, for example, he was quarterback 5 overall. So when you look at these dual threat quarterbacks, is what he is. He offers that mobility. Will he still rush as much now? He has more weapons and a much better run game now that he has RJ Harvey, who took it in the 2nd round. A guy like JK Dobbins, who really showed that he still has it last year with LA, and with the fact that Sean Payton historically loves to utilize a running back in the passing game. He's always top 3 when it comes to running back targets, usually historically when it comes to his running backs in the receiving game. So is it J.K. Dobbins? Is it AJ Harvey that falls in that role? I would kind of lean a little bit more towards Dobbins, even though Harvey's totally capable of doing something like that. Something to keep your eye on, because one of these guys is definitely be a high-end running back. But like, do you think that comes back a little bit? Do we see some regression, Matt, from Bo Nix in the rushing game with the emergence of Pat Bryant, the addition of the 2 running backs, and Evan Engram?
Yeah, I mean, he had 430 yards last year, 4 touchdowns. So it was nothing to sneeze at, but it wasn't like over the top.
Sure.
Where I guess you have to call him a dual threat, but I I don't know. Is he really
More
a
in the
dual?
Aaron Rodgers
Right.
type of dual threat, Pat Mahomes type
So
of dual
I
threat.
could definitely see kind of as his as the game slows down, his passing numbers go up and his rushing numbers go down, and it's kind of only when nothing is available. Maybe he was seeing half the field for part of the year, then 3/4 of the field, and maybe hopefully in year 2 he's really opened it up. He's got the whole field in front of him. He can see it all, and maybe throw some passes to guys instead of taking off and running this year. So I could see that going down, but I would think, as long as things don't turn south for him, that it's just going to correlate to more passing yards, and that's kind of where it would cannibalize itself.
Right now, I have him projected at 368 rushing yards on the season, so a little bit of a dip, but nothing crazy. 3 rushing touchdowns. So I do think he is still going to be effective on the ground, and he'll be somebody that does get you like some sneaky points. But I don't think it'd be hard to truly say like he's a dual threat.
Where do you have him from your overall QBs? Because I would think, if you asked me today, I think Bo Nix finishes outside the top 12.
So do I.
I have him
quarterbacks this year.
exactly at 12.
Yeah, I think he finishes outside the top 12. Not a negative, kind of going back to our tight end conference. Like on a points per game basis, he's right there. I see Bo Nix finishing, though, outside the top 12
I could
this
see
year.
him 13, 14 pretty easily.
Yeah.
We see a lot of that, too, sophomore regression.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yep.
So,
His ADP is
14
QB7.
sounds good to me.
QB7.
QB7.
ADP.
Yeah, you get the youth on your side. That's obviously always going to drive up prices a little bit. And he had a really good first year. So I think that ADP makes sense.
Did that hurt a little bit saying that?
Look, I turned the corner. I made it a whole apology video. All
It's
right.
on brand. You got him right.
And you know what the funny part is? Even in the apology video, people are still very mean.
Did you hear how the voice got higher when he said that? He was like, he had a very good he had a very good season.
Still just mid, but whatever. No, yeah. So I haven't met. Look, you guys said 13, 14. I haven't met 12 this year. So look at me. I'm the Bo Nix stan.
You're the lowest in our rankings on him.
Yeah, that'll probably always be that way.
You're 62. Matt's 29.
Yeah,
It's a pretty big difference.
That is a big difference.
that is a big diff.
Well, I kind of come back here. I'm reading a quote right now from Sean Payton when he was asked if he's a 3-down back, and Payton said he's going to play on 3rd down.
Harvey or
Harvey, yeah.
Oh, okay. You switched gears on me real
Yeah.
quick.
Totally.
Sorry,
I was like, Bo
I'm just
Nix,
reading it.
3-down
No.
back, baby.
He's going to play on 3rd down. Yeah. So
There
where do you
were
guys?
quotes from today that was shown like that Sean Payton was kind of singing his praises. Just he's doing everything right and kind of showing some good explosiveness.
Yeah, despite the JK Dobbins signing, I still think it's kind of like, I said this before, even when they signed JK Dobbins, I thought RJ Harvey would be the guy. I think JK Dobbins, listen, Payton runs 2 running back offense. He's done it historically forever. But again, his running backs still produce.
I think when you draft a guy like RJ Harvey, you want him to succeed. You bring in a guy like JK Dobbins in case he doesn't right away.
Dobbins, dude, like he's got so much tread on those tires.
I mean, as long as but he's
Actually, not a lot of tread because
He's
well,
lost.
injury tread though.
he's
Like,
lost the
his-
explosion. You know what I mean? He doesn't
Lack
have
of
that
tread.
that he used to have. So that's
he's
kind of
he's almost 27 now. So
Yeah, I think Harvey's the guy. I think he's the starter running back. You don't
We'll
spend a
see.
second round pick on somebody like Harvey, and he's not the starter.
Sometimes yes, sometimes no. I mean, we see second round running backs all the time. That it takes them a while to kind of earn that, and then by year 2, they really kind of take the job over. So we'll see. I have both guys heavily involved this year. So right now I have it as J.K. Dobbins running back 25, R.J. Harvey running back 33. So both guys heavily involved, both used fairly interchangeably, but I have a little bit more passing work for R.J. Harvey and a little bit more on the ground for J.K. Dobbins.
I mean, when you look back historically, if you go way back, like over the last 15 years, second round running backs usually tend to, when they get that draft capital, be the guys out there. And if they average, right now, the average is, if you go back over the last 15 years and you're a second round running back and you play in at least 14 games, you're going to average 188 touches for 931 yards and a little over 5 touchdowns.
Yeah, well, J.K. Dobbins was a second round draft pick.
It's true.
In their first year.
All
These
right.
stats are
That
for their
was-
first year,
all right.
not historically. So, if there is any dip on RJ Harvey, I kind of said this as soon as JK signed. I was like, if there's any dip on RJ Harvey, I'm buying the dip. He's still going to be the long-term play there in a very great offense. So out of here, like there's a lot of things here that I'm excited about. Obviously, Bo Nix is number 1 from a superflex standpoint. I would slide RJ Harvey in for me as number 2 is my favorite dynasty asset. And then outside of that,
Short term, obviously, both those other guys, Courtland Sutton and Evan Engram, are both valuable.
I think I would take the scarcity. I think I would gamble on Engram upside.
Scarcity. It's a place only people with scars live.
Yeah. Well, I'm not a scaredy cat, so I'm not going to scarcity.
Scarcity.
Scars.
Yeah. It's where Simba's uncle lives.
Oh yeah,
Scar
makes
City.
sense. Makes sense. Yep.
Scar City. Come on, I'm not a vocabulary.
What is happening? Wide receiver wise, we all expect Courtland Sutton to be the number one guy. Obviously, in this offense, they paid him to be the number one guy. Who's the number two? Because I think that's still long term, very much still up in there. Is there even a guy on this team that is the long term number two?
Sean Payton likes himself some Marvin Mims too. He said he wished we got him utilized more last year, late in the year. But then they spend a 3rd round pick on Pat Bryant, who fits in the slot really well and fits that offense well too. It's a really big.
Don't forget about Bailey. I know he's like 100 years old and he was a rookie.
He
last
played
year.
well though.
He played well though last
I saw
year.
Denver
Is he
radio
27 or 28?
saying that he's
Something like that.
emerging as the wide receiver too.
Bailey?
Yeah, like he's having a really good camp or something.
Yeah, I mean
They're radio hosts. And,
Okay. Benjamin
it's like-
Albright.
I don't know who it was.
Okay.
I think it's K.
It'll be interesting.
K something.
But he's old, so he's not the long term number two. Like he
Right.
could win that short term number two, but I'm guessing Pat Bryant personally is the guy that they want kind of long term to be that guy.
For this season, I have Marvin Mims as kind of the number two guy. And even though I'm a big fan of Marvin Mims, his numbers still just didn't pop off the page. I had to work with what I had as far as targets go and yards per route run, different things like that. So I still, even though, like I said, I am a fan of him, he still only came in at wide receiver 45 for me.
I mean, he's got a little bit too much gadget to him, right?
Right.
To
Needs
his production.
to be more of an established receiver and
Right.
less gadgety.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think on a week in, week out basis, it's really just comes down to Courtland Sutton. Even then, you want him to be your wide receiver 3 at best. Bo Nix, obviously, you can start in 1 QB or super flex. And then Evan Engram and RJ Harvey. I think JK Dobbins can find himself into a flex role.
For me, that's where I'll differ. I don't know that I trust either running back right now in my starting lineup.
Yeah, because you're a hater of Harvey, and I understand that. I would start Harvey day one. If Harvey's whoever's listed
On
as
a contender, you would?
whoever's listed as the starter on opening day is the guy who I'd feel very comfortable starting.
Okay.
Yes, 100%.
All right. I am a little worried
Great
they'll
rushing offense.
dig too
Number
much
one rushing
into each
offense in the
other.
NFL
All it takes
too.
is week
The
one.
number
right?
one Russian offense.
Russian.
Week one, I'll say. I'll tell you.
Yeah,
can't speak
we'll
Russian.
see, but
Yeah.
There are no other Russian
I know
offenses.
I know we love Sean Payton.
You don't know that. You don't know where they're sneaking in their ways.
There's some Eastern European ones, but no Russian ones.
No
They
Russian
infiltrate.
All right. Okay.
They do it often.
What are you guys talking about?
He said Russian.
Like the country.
I'm everything but a G thing, baby.
All right, next team.
All right, next up, Kansas City Chiefs. At quarterback, they have Patrick Mahomes, Gardner Minshew, Bailey Zappi.
Ardner mission you for me.
I'm sorry?
Ardner mission you.
Hardner?
Ardner.
You just can't spell. Is that what you're saying?
All right.
No G.
All right. At running back, Isaiah
your face.
Pacheco, Kareem Hunt, Mitchell.
Elijah Mitchell.
Sorry, my whole screen just jumped.
Isaiah.
Elijah Mitchell, Brashard Smith, who's actually kind of showing out a little bit.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he's a guy I wanted. That's the only running back I want in offense.
Yeah, at tight end, obviously Kelce. They have Noah Gray. Jared Wiley is coming back from injury, and Robert Tunyon's on this team. Who knew?
Baby Gronk.
At wide receiver, they have Xavier Worthy, Hollywood Brown, Rashee Rice, Sky Moore for now, Jalen Royals, and Juju Smith-Schuster.
For now.
Right.
Good job, Matt. You did it.
Yep. Thank you. They also have Tyquan Thornton.
Oh, man.
Yeah, he did so well as another second-round pick for the Patriots. God, has anybody drafted more bad receivers than the Patriots?
Kill Harry.
Maybe the Baltimore Ravens.
It's I don't think anybody's close.
I mean, the Browns. Yeah.
The Browns. You could say.
I'm talking about second round or
Has
higher.
anyone drafted any worse? And then you could just say the Browns. You don't have to finish that.
Well, I mean, if you say football, who's done it the worst? Yeah, it's easily.
Based on the capital spent, that was like
Yeah.
Patriots.
Yeah, I'm talking
Patriots
about
have done
draft
pretty
capital
poorly.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes. We don't really need to say much about him. He's really good.
He elevates everyone's
Yeah.
game.
Like
Fantastic.
he's good.
Yep.
QB 11 last
Definitely
year.
fallen from glory though.
Yeah, he's not as appealing. If anything,
Fantasy
he's
wise.
almost like you can still tear down from him. I'm fine, but like it's almost gone a little too far. where the hate started to get.
It's QB6 in ADP.
Especially
Too high.
Especially last year, they
I'm fine with
wanted
6.
they wanted to do some things, but people were injured. Rashee Rice got injured. Hollywood Brown got injured.
Yeah.
Sky Moore stinks. Xavier Worthy just did not.
He was a rookie.
Yeah, he was a rookie. He didn't come
No
along
running game.
fast enough. So it was.
The fact that he does as much as he does with as little as he has is actually fairly impressive.
It's
He's
not
just so
fairly.
valued.
It's
It's
not.
very
It's
impressive.
not fairly. It's very, very.
And
impressive. Yeah.
this season, as far as where I project him, I think he does get closer to where he used to be. I have him at quarterback 7 for the season, so I do think he gets kind of closer to where we expect him to be this year. And it wouldn't surprise me if he snuck inside the top 5 again. Still waiting to see if these assets that we think could be good actually establish themselves as good. No one's really proven it other than Travis Kelce, who's trending the wrong direction. So that's kind of what I'm waiting to see for sure in this offense.
Obviously, Rashee Rice, we know he's good. We don't know how long he's going to be
How
suspended.
much he gets to play.
So that's going to be the issue there. Hollywood Brown is on a 1-year deal. He
got hurt again today.
Did he really?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard the severity, though.
I read he should be okay, but he got hurt
Okay.
today, yeah.
Jeez, oh man, dude. So
Always hurt.
it's Xavier Worthy. Like, is he more gadget or more wide receiver this year? Hopefully, he starts transitioning to the wide receiver role. Jalen Royals apparently has looked good.
He's got a ton of run with the ones.
Look good in college.
Of
He
course.
was one of the guys that we mentioned when we do another receivers. We didn't like them all.
We
liked
all liked Jalen Royals,
Yes.
and we're very surprised that he kind of slipped in the draft. And Kansas City might have found themselves a player. Right here.
I think they did. He's been consistently running with the ones, even at times instead of Rashee Rice. Now I think part of that's due to, hey, you might miss some time. We're
Yep.
going to get him in, which is fine, whatever.
Which makes sense because it's a hard offensive to learn.
And the interesting thing is that was something that Xavier Worthy came out and said. He's like, Jalen Rose is really smart. Like, he's picked up this offense surprisingly quick, and that was something we acknowledged. Was he seemed to always have a step ahead mentally on the defensive back. If they were playing him tight, he always seemed to know what he was doing, and so I think he's just a more cerebral player.
He's a chess player.
Yeah. And he's a problem solver out there. And look, he's one of those guys. I know that we didn't love the landing spot initially just because of how many weapons there are here, but he's a guy that I'm trying to sneak in on some trades if I can, because there's very few teams where that rocket ship could just go straight up if everything hits.
I totally agree with that.
And their first round pick from last year, Xavier Worthy, is a young kid, finishes wide receiver 28 over all last year. I think it really is, can he pick up off the momentum of the second half of the year they had last year and lead into the playoffs? When you look at him from weeks 11 through 17 last year, he was 19 wide receiver 19 overall. About 8 targets per game, and then he kept that going in the playoffs. He had 19 catches, 287 yards, and 3 touchdowns, and still saw about 7 targets per game.
start humming there in the playoffs a bit. I forgot about that.
He did. It was even the second half of the year. That was just continuation on of what he did the second half of the year too. So, and that's where I kind of I can definitely with the Rashee Rice news as well. He could probably live in that mid-range wide receiver 2 role until he comes back. So again, a championship caliber player if he's your wide receiver 3. So a guy who's super young, first round draft pedigree with Kansas City. We don't know how much longer Travis Kelce is going to be here on this team. But again, Travis Kelce, 35 years old, still tight end 5 last year. Even on a points per game basis, his 12.2 was good for 7th overall. So still getting it done because we know that Andy Reid likes to run this dink and dunk offense. The only thing that would concern me there is how they do kind of go back to what we were talking about the running backs. How does Brashard Smith does he get into this offense, right?
Does he get acclimated quickly?
Game?
Yeah.
Because Pacheco can catch the football. Yes, he's been banged up. This is
not
definitely
great in that aspect, though.
This is somebody who is for sure going to be in the last year of his deal here in Kansas City. The future running back's probably not on this team unless Brashard Smith does kind of step up.
Pacheco's in the last year of his deal. Kareem Hunt's in the last year of his deal. And who else do we even have?
Elijah Mitchell.
Elijah Mitchell is actually in the last year of his deal as well. So this could look completely different 12 months from right now.
But think of some of those early Super Bowl teams. They always had a pass-catching specialist.
Sure.
And I think Brashard Smith could end up being one of those truly pass-catching specialist type players. I don't know if that necessarily translates to amazing fantasy success, but could it make him a fairly consistent low-end RB2?
Yeah.
It could.
I don't want to jinx this, but Elijah Mitchell right now is kind of running ahead of Kareem Hunt as the running back 2 in this offense. A guy that just was dinged up all the time.
He's always been hurt.
So, that's why I don't want to jinx it. But Kareem Hunt doesn't have any juice left. You know what I mean? Like he is a grinder. Mm-hmm. He's a tough dude. He's going to fight for extra yards, but he doesn't have any juice. So, Pacheco runs himself into a wall enough that he always tends to get beat up a little bit. So you really got to pay attention to these backup running backs here. And Elijah Mitchell, as long as he stays healthy, is a high upside guy as a runner.
San Francisco, he was very efficient.
Yeah,
you got to roster him.
Yeah,
if he's available in your leagues.
Yeah,
absolutely. So, but if I'm looking at backup guys, I'm looking at Mitchell, and I love Brashard Smith. I mean, I think that guy's got a ton of not only short-term upside but long-term upside in this offense.
Yeah, he's the one that I would want on all this offense. I got Brashard Smith in multiple best ball fast drafts that I have. He's somebody I've been really kind of eating up there because I think he's going to find himself a role. Again, a dink and dunk offense, no Rashee Rice. I think they will find a way to utilize him in this offense. And there's no better, not a better coach out there. Andy Reid is one of the most innovative coaches in the NFL today. Him, Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay. Probably you could probably mention like Mike McDaniel in that as well, but or Kevin O'Connell, these innovative coaches. So I think Brashard Smith, and go back to what you said, like that dink and dunk pass catcher running back, that they've really lived there. We even saw guys like Jerick McKinnon thrive from a fantasy football perspective in that offense. So I think when you're chasing upside, Brashard Smith definitely offers probably the most surprise upside in this Kansas City offense. And you're right, Matt. The number 2 running back I would want in here would be Elijah Mitchell as well. I'm just out on Isaiah Pacheco. I think at this point it's going to be hard for him to stay healthy. Doesn't offer a ton. Yes, he's been utilized. A lot of people will tell you, well, you're sleeping on Pacheco. But and I know he had was it a fibula injury last year?
He broke his fibula, yep.
Yeah, when he came back last year, he had a leg injury. When he came back, like he just was not efficient at all. I mean, through the final 5 regular season games that he had a 6.1% missed tackle rate. 60% he got on first downs. He was he just ranked in all the bottom stats when it came to fantasy football rushing.
He's a tone setter, but he unfortunately plays almost too aggressively for his own body. Yeah, reckless would be a good way to term it. So he's a hard guy to rely on for a full season. I think he's great. He's a great RB2 to have on your thing, but he can't be your only RB2. Like he's great to have on your roster.
He's a longer-lived James Robinson, right? These late-round guys that kind of come out of nowhere that like super stoked that you took him in the 5th round of your rookie draft, someone up in on your waiver wire,
boost.
And you're able to start him for a year or 2. You know what I mean? Like just we see these guys pop up all the time. Very short-lived success stories. So kudos to him for a great career, Super Bowl rings and all. So, but outside of that, we mentioned the running backs. The receivers are nice, and Travis Kelce is literally one of those guys like. If you have any other tight end on your roster that you can kind of move for him, he still holds value as a name that you can move. 35, how much longer does he have?
Do we see Noah Gray kind of take over? They signed him.
He started to a little bit last year even. Right. He had, 7 or 8 receiving touchdowns?
Yeah, towards the end of the season, specifically, I felt like they were kind of tilting it towards him a little bit. So we'll see if that's kind of more of what happens this season. Who knows if Jared Wiley is back and kind of healthy and gets to take a first step in the NFL or not.
Brashard Smith is RB 63 right now.
Great value.
ADP wise.
Well, I get this new best ball league going, bro.
There's a lot of those guys in this class that I liked as late round prospects that I just want to scoop up. So
sometimes it's so hard.
Give me Brashard Smith. Give me Kyle Monangai. Give me Devin Neal. Give me all of these guys because I think that there's 3 or 4 of them that could pop.
Like you want to send a third for him, but when you send that offer, they're like,
wait, why?
Why? Then
what news did you hear?
Yeah, then it doesn't get done.
All right, before we go on, I got to tell you about our friends over at myffpc.com. If you're like me and you're trying to get a new startup way too late in the season and you kind of want to expand your Dynasty portfolio, there's not a better place to do it than myffpc.com. It's the most secure place that you could play Dynasty fantasy football. It's a place where you can join a league and know that when you're trading picks for the future, it's never going to fold because they've never had a league fold in the history of their existence. And they're going to give you options, right? $75 leagues, $2,500 leagues, all over the place. Formats, Superflex, Triflex, Superflex, PPR, tight end premium, standard, any way you want to do it, they're going to have an option for you. But listen, time's running out, right? You can't run startups until the regular season. They have to start I think a week or 2 before the regular season. They get cut off. So we are running out of time for new leagues for the 2025 season. And if you've been trying to get a group of guys together and you can't get all of them, MyFFPC is the place for you. And right now, if you use the promo code NERDS, they're going to hook you up. $25 off any new league you join. So if you join a $75 league, it's going to be a 33% discount. If you join a big-time league, it's a small little cut. But listen, it's dinner, lunch on us. Depends where you live. You know, if you live in North Dakota, like you said, it could be a house. Who knows?
Who knows?
So for me, that's not fair.
12 acres of property.
It could be 12 acres.
I know nothing about North Dakota. So check them out, myffpc.com. It's a great place to play Dynasty fantasy football.
Yes, and of course, that best ball that we all want to play so much, you can play that over there on Fast Draft. It's an amazing place to play it. If you've done the underdog stuff, it's very, very similar, but they have some really unique formats that they don't have there. It's a newer platform as well, so opportunity to get in before all the sharks get in there and make it more difficult to win. And I personally love the rookie only stuff that's wrapping up now, but we have the rabbit that's going on where you can draft super, super quick, get in, get out, get done, and make some money. Best of all, if you use promo code NERDS, not only are they going to double your deposit from all the way up from $50, that'll double to $100, but we will also give you a free year of everything we do here at Dynasty Nerds. Free app, free Nerd Score, free extra podcasts, all of the stuff that we have, tons and tons more. So head on over there, Fast Draft, use promo code NERDS today.
All right, let's dive back in. We're going to the Las Vegas Raiders here, and at quarterback they have Geno Smith, Aiden O'Connell, Cam Miller. At the running back position they have Ashton Jeanty, Raheem Mostert, Sincere McCormick, Zamir White, and Dylan Laube. At the tight end position, they have Brock Bowers, Michael Mayer, and Ian Thomas. I don't know. Ian Thomas. I know how to say it, but I just got twisted up.
I am Thomas.
At wide receiver, they got Dante Thornton, Trey Tucker, Jacoby Meyer, Jack Besh, Colin Johnson, Tommy Mellott. He was a quarterback that they're kind of transitioning into.
Sounds pretty chill.
Yeah. That's it. That's all they got.
Well done.
Well,
That's it.
At quarterback,
The end. That's how you should end them all. The end.
Thanks, Walt Disney. Quarterback.
I know what I'm doing next time.
Pete Carroll gets to reunite with Geno Smith.
Yep.
And if you're a Geno Smith shareholder, you're pretty excited because if you go back over the last 3 seasons, the only people that have more pass attempts than Geno Smith are Pat Mahomes, Jared Goff, and Justin Herbert. End of list. He throws the football a ton. So right now, bringing him back in, of course, they take Ashton Jeanty, with the 5th pick in the NFL draft. They're going to establish the run. But Ashton Jeanty is also extremely viable in the passing game. You have the number 1 tight end in the NFL in Brock Bowers. And again, you have Jacoby Meyers to throw the football too. And they draft 2 receivers in Jack Besh and Dante Thornton. Thornton's getting a lot of run with the ones right now as well. Jack Besh just reportedly had his best camp today. Kind of showed some of his explosiveness.
Shocker, the pads come on and Jack Besh starts doing well.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a shocker whatsoever. No. So, you look at a guy like Jacoby Meyers, right? Over the last couple of years, Jacoby Meyers has not been worse than a wide receiver 3. Actually, wide receiver 33 overall over the last 4 straight years. Finishes wide receiver 35 last year.
Never finishes worse than wide receiver 33. Wide receiver 35 last
35.
Before that,
let me check on these numbers, man.
make sure. But I go. The difference is I go through.
You go through 1
through 17. Now. That's the difference. What was Jacoby Meyers week 1 through 18?
That's what I'm looking at right now.
Again, these stats they don't curate like I curate.
Sure.
They don't curate.
All my numbers when I give them, just remember, I always give stats for me personally as weeks 1 through 17 because 18 does not count.
Oh, he had a huge week 18. He was all the way up at wide receiver 19. And he had 27.3 points in week 18.
Yeah, see? And that's why those weeks don't count. One, nobody's playing in week 18. And then
lots of teams still playing in week 18. There's only one team that gets the bye.
No, okay. 2 things here, Garrett. One, no fantasy teams are playing week 18. So
that's what he's saying.
That's irrelevant. And then a lot of teams are like...
But NFL players don't care about that.
Yeah, but a lot of teams are resting starters, pulling people early.
Some.
A lot.
So he cracked 1,000 yards, though, last year for the first time. So, I mean, things are looking up for Jacoby Meyers.
He's been a solid receiver, man, like over the last couple of years. So for me, obviously his offense is going to run through Brock Bowers and Ashton Jeanty. So, Brock Bowers, there's nothing. He's a unicorn, right? Like the truest definition of a unicorn. Last year on a points per game basis, he was number 2 overall, right behind George Kittle. George Kittle is number 1 on a points per game basis, but he was tight end 3. Tight end 1 overall from a scoring standpoint. So looking at this offense, the only thing that really worth discussing, because everybody wants Ashton Jeanty.
We know he's going to be
good. He's the
good.
next running back to most likely enter that elite tier of running backs. The Bijans, the Gibbs. He's going to enter that tier. Brock Bowers is the clear-cut tight end 1.
Totally established, right.
Not like leaps and bounds ahead of Trey McBride, but 10 out of 10 times he's the tight end 1 off the board.
Yeah.
So it really comes down to me, the battle I'm interested in watching here is the 2 rookies. Dante Thornton, the big, tall, fast receiver, and Jack Bech, the big, strong, savvy route running receiver, and how they acclimate themselves into Pete Carroll's offense and with Geno Smith, and how this all plays out. Because so far the run has been all Thornton, and Bech is just now kind of getting in there. Like, what are you guys interested in with the Raiders right now from a dynasty standpoint?
No, I mean, I think that is the place that makes the most sense to take a look at, because it's the most up in the air, right? You mentioned it, how established those other positions are, but obviously Jacoby Meyers is a fine player. I'm trying to find his stuff right now, because I'm pretty sure he's in the last year of his deal. That's what I have on here.
He's wide receiver 49 right now
in ADP.
In ADP.
Yeah, so he is in the last year of his deal right now. I just wanted to confirm that. I had it written down, but I couldn't remember that off the top of my head. So, Jacoby Meyers, I think this is a great year for Bech to kind of learn what's going on in this offense. Same with Thornton. Jacoby Meyers, I think, is going to be the top guy as far as garnering targets and all that kind of stuff. And then it's going to be kind of who kind of establishes themselves late in the year between Thornton and Bech as to who I think everyone's going to be more excited about next year. But for me, Trey Tucker is in this conversation, but I feel like he's a guy that's going to easily, once the pads come on, and once the season fades kind of into this background type of, hey, he's going to be a good deep threat, but he's a smaller wide receiver. Bech and Thornton are both guys that I think can really kind of excel with Geno Smith.
Do we think these are the future wide receiver 1 and wide receiver 2 of this team? Or are they the wide receiver 2 and 3 of this team, and there's somebody else that's going to come in, whether it's via draft, trade, whatever, that's actually going to be the leading target getter other than Brock Bowers, but at the wide receiver position, the wide receiver 1?
It's really hard to tell, because Thornton, I think, could do that. I think physically he could do that. I think he's got the build, the makeup, all that kind of stuff to be that guy. So it's going to take just a big jump. We didn't see a lot from him at Tennessee. So
Tennessee's offense is a little wonky.
It is it's wonky. Yeah.
He has some flashes though. He has the potential.
Big plays.
That's what I mean. It's all potential. So it's got to come together for him, but he's got the potential to do that in the NFL.
I mean, I viewed him as just a big go deep receiver. Solid hands, big
for
guy,
what it's worth.
fast.
For what it's worth to me, I see Thornton as the 2. When I say the wide receiver 1 and 2 on this team, I see him as the 2, because I think he profiles more as like a Z that is going to more straight line, more big plays, more that kind of thing. I see Bech as the more logical X type of receiver. Do we think he can evolve into that, or is he just better as like a power slot?
Like, your dream for Bech would be like, can he be a Puka Nakua?
That'd be awesome.
That would be sweet, and that's
of course. I mean,
pie in the sky.
That's eliteness right there. But that's what you treat, right? Again, same thing. Nobody thought Puka Nakua was gonna be Puka Nakua.
That is the same type of player that Jack Bech is,
and that's why I comped it to. That's what I'm saying. For his ceiling, you hope for something along those lines. Where Dante Thornton most likely doesn't offer that.
Jack Bech is a guy that could, I think, do both, be outside, be in the slot, and kind of float between those two positions within a game. You know what I mean? And kind of excel at either one of those things, depending on formation and who's covering him, all that kind of stuff. So I do think he's versatile enough to do all that kind of stuff. And I really like Bech. I was gobbling him up in drafts everywhere. Early second round.
You had him ranked the highest for sure.
Yeah. So I do think he's got a ton of upside to be able to get there. But if you're on the team with Brock Bowers, like you're
always the two.
You're always going to be the two, even if you're
100%.
So, especially with, Jeanty's there too, catches passes well. Yeah. It's going to be hard to kind of keep all these guys afloat, right? Mm-hmm. From a fantasy perspective.
What do you guys think about, right now the ADP of 250 and being tight end 39? Do you think it's worth going out there and taking a shot on buying Michael Mayer? Just so when he leaves, a solid prospect coming out. Nothing elite, again, kind of falls more into the Hunter Henry range, though. Second round draft pick.
Yeah.
But now that with Bowers there, he'll probably go get signed somewhere else, but have an opportunity to thrive elsewhere.
Well, there were trade rumors even in this offseason. So I would expect that to heat up even more, because I think next year they can actually get out from underneath that and save a little bit of money on that.
He's only 24 years old.
Yeah, he's young.
So he hasn't even entered anywhere where he needs to be for plenty of clock on there. And right now, with being practically free, might not be a bad guy to kind of stash on the back end of your roster, just for the hopes of trying to get a relevant tight end somewhere.
Sure.
That's what you're doing, right? You don't want to hold these old guys like Tyler Conklin's guys along those lines.
He's a guy I haven't seen him play much in the NFL, right? So I wouldn't mind.
No one has.
Neither is his mama.
I wouldn't mind getting eyes on him this year was my point.
Sure.
and because he was a guy that I saw as a little bit lumbering.
Yeah.
In college. So, but
good blocker and things like that.
But dudes can pick up a step here in the NFL and get better.
Absolutely.
So if he's done that, I think he's got all the other tools to be a good, effective tight end. If he hasn't and he still looks lumbering, I'm not really that interested, to be honest.
Yeah. Yep. No, I think that makes sense. But yeah, always love those throw-ins on guys that are absolutely buried, but at least have some type of ceiling to them.
Yeah, Patrick pedigree hasn't done anything wrong on the field. Essentially,
just happened to be on the team with Brock Bowers.
You guys cutting Zamir White?
Yeah,
from your teams. Yeah,
I've
been making some. Zamir
that's
White
cuts.
A
thing. That's not past tense.
I still have Zamir White on my team.
Yeah, some of them
you would. Anybody would.
Name
one person that still has Zamir White on their team if it's a Jeopardy question, and it'd be like, who is Matt O'Hara?
Just say this is the year I'm finally making some Zamir White cuts. I'm damn.
That's all right. I still have some DJ Dallas on some real deep teams.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, dude, some benches are deep.
Friend of show.
That's the thing. That's the thing. Zamir White, I know he's not going to get any run here. If he goes somewhere else and is interesting, I just don't want to cut him just in case. Right. And that's it.
You don't have to cut him.
A change of scenery can do guys good at some point. He's not super old. I think he's only 24 or 25 maybe. So.
Oh, wow. I guess he was at least 38. We've been talking about him forever.
We have been. All right.
Boy, was that a good window to sell Zamir White.
Yeah, it was.
Was that last year?
Right at the beginning of the year.
Right at the beginning of last year?
Yep.
That 4-game stretch in playoffs. In 23, so leading into 24.
Yep.
I didn't do it enough.
I didn't do it at all. I held them all.
I just got excited.
Took that risk.
Yep. I wanted to hold
especially after the draft when they didn't draft anybody. I was like, yeah.
To be fair, I was contending in the team that I had him, so you know what I mean.
Let's be fair.
To be fair.
All right, let's go with the last team. My second favorite team that's not the Browns.
Yeah, Los Angeles
historically.
Chargers. Yeah.
Chargers. Drew Brees.
Big Herbert guy.
Yep.
Well,
all right.
Goes back to Drew Brees, really, but yeah, and then LT.
Stealing my thunder. Starting off with the quarterbacks, Justin Herbert, Taylor Heineke, and then Trey Lance. Who knew? I didn't even know Trey Lance was on this team.
Neither does his mom.
Running back of Omarion Hampton, Najee Harris. Can somebody help me out with Kamani Vidal. Thank you very much. I was going to trip all over that one. Will Disley, Tyler Conklin, and what? Orlando Gadsden at the tight end position. Gadsden apparently looking pretty good in practice, by the way. At the wide receiver position, Trey Harris, Quentin Johnston, Ladd McConkey, Jalen Reagor. Are you okay? Keandre Lambert-Smith, and Darius Davis, who also is getting some praise from coaches currently.
Darius Davis has always been a solid.
And Brendan Rice.
receiver.
Don't forget about Brendan Rice.
Good returner.
There you go. I see one thing. So I've done pretty good at after the Judkin stuff. I updated that, update a few things. I see one update that I missed on my projections because I still have Mike Williams here on the.
Listen, man, and I have not addressed this, have I? Publicly,
you have not.
You have not.
This would be a good time to do it.
I cut all my. I had a lot of shares to cut.
Yeah, I've been cutting him left and right. I've been getting a lot of sad messages from people that know how much that hurt
In memoriam.
I like how the community's reached out to you. That's great.
Matt's like never on Twitter, but now he is.
I mean, dude, it just goes to show you how long we've been doing this.
It really does. Listen.
Please.
He's been washed. He's been washed up for a couple of years. Yes, I still had him on teams just because for nostalgic reasons. I would have cut him last year if I needed to, but now it's official. He made it easy. He is retired, and now I've been cutting him.
Yes, it took a long time to get there, but we got there.
Yes, we did.
We did. It took a long. It was a long road,
It was a long
but
road.
Mike Williams got there.
He did.
It was a short-lived, but listen, 15 minutes of fame is still 15 minutes of fame, baby.
To me, he's always going to be the what if guy. You know what I mean? What if this dude actually stayed healthy and wasn't dinged up constantly? What would he have been? Who knows? We're never going to know. But he did flash that one good season.
What if Minka Fitzpatrick didn't appropriately dive at Nick Chubb's leg?
What if Josh Gordon just
Didn't smoke weed?
Right. These are
Yeah.
Cleveland what ifs
What
that
if?
can go on forever.
What if I wasn't born in Cleveland and wasn't a Browns fan?
Let's please move back to the Chargers because they're an actual good functioning team.
So you got Justin Herbert, quarterback 13 last year, averaged 16.3 points per game. Starting there, for me, I've always been really high in Justin Herbert. I love his skill set. And I have him ranked higher than most people in Superflex drafts. But I will say this. I need to see Justin Herbert finish as a quarterback 1 this year. I need to see him step up. He's got a much better team around him with a strong running game, a fantastic offensive line. Gadsden's looked really good, but you have Ladd McConkey. You add Trey Harris here.
Not Keenan Allen, which you thought was happening.
I don't know where I read that, which is crazy. But if Herbert's going to be where I have him ranked, he needs to be the quarterback kind of we talked about earlier. He needs to, like Justin Fields, he needs to elevate his team as well around him.
And that's the thing that I worry a little bit about Justin Herbert. Not that I don't think he's going to be efficient and effective, because I think he's going to be very efficient and very effective. But there's two things holding him back. He's not running as much anymore. So we're not getting a lot of rushing yards, rushing attempts out of him. And 2, just the overall pass attempts on the team are much lower than other teams in the league. And that's what really holds him back. So he's got to be, he did a great job keeping his interceptions low last year, being really efficient with it. But he did not pass for a lot of touchdowns last year. We're going to need to see him increase that rate because right now I would be surprised if he hit 500 attempts. And when you have other guys that are getting drafted in a similar range as him of Joe Burrow getting 600 to 650 attempts, it's just hard to compare apples and oranges in that sense.
Wasn't he close to 700 or something last year?
It was like 653 or something like that he threw last year. It was crazy. And then Justin Herbert was like 740 or 475.
Well, last year was a complete outlier from anything he's ever done. He averaged 29.6 pass attempts per game last season. His current average is 39.1.
But that's first year of this offense,
this new regime.
Yeah, this new regime.
Now you mentioned his rushing. His yards per attempt went up, career high 7.7. So,
sure, he just didn't attempt as much.
But does that also come into fruition? He had a rookie receiver in Ladd McConkey who didn't really step it up until about week 6-ish, right around there. And no deep threat either, right? Quinn Johnson never turned in what they wanted, hence why they drafted Trey Harris when they took him. So I don't know if all that kind of stunted him back a little bit as well.
Could.
So,
but they added a lot to the running game too this year.
They did. Well, yeah, you take a guy in the first round, it's a lot. So, and that's what I'm saying. I need to see where he's slowly kind of these last 2 years step back to high end QB2, which is again in Superflex that's fantastic. Mm-hmm. But for me to keep him where I have him ranked, entering his 28-year-old season, I need to see him step up this year and elevate the Chargers offense. He's a quarterback right now that just can't beat the elite teams. When he plays playoff teams, he loses. He has a losing record. When you look at all those elite quarterbacks, he's the worst one when it comes from a record-wise of beating that team. So with Harbaugh, with the second year in this offense, we need to see Herbert take a step forward. Obviously, the running game, we look to take a massive step forward. Some people were worried about Omarion Hampton in year 1 because of Najee. Thanks to Uncle Sam, I don't think we have to worry about that anymore because
Uncle Sam.
Yeah, America's birthday, baby. Najee's walking around with a patch on his eye.
Has anyone heard how bad it is? I know he's still not practicing. Okay. They're not releasing anything.
Yeah.
Huh?
He's been wearing
They're taking it slow,
sunglasses
though.
and
Okay.
So they're taking it slow.
I wonder. I mean, vision is a pretty important part of being a running back, and even if it's not like mangled, you know what I mean,
Right.
and it's just like he got stuff in his eye, or it's you know what I mean, like blurred vision and stuff like that. That's a major,
real problem.
Major problem. Like he could take those glasses off and look fine, but if he can't see out of one of his eyes, your depth perception is messed up. You know what I mean.
But the fact that the sunglasses haven't come off yet
right?
doesn't.
Yeah,
Right.
4th of July was at the beginning of the month. This is
Right.
the end of July.
Yeah,
That's not good.
I'm not a calendar, but that was almost a month ago.
it's true.
Yeah.
So,
He's not a calendar.
yeah, I mean,
Rich, you do have Herbert high. You have him ranked 6th overall.
yeah, I'm a big fan. So I still have my Herbert jersey framed in that box. It's been there, sitting there for 2 years, by the way, too. It's a very nice frame that I spent a lot of money on. It's been in the box.
Perfect investment.
Yeah, I don't know where to put because everything else is Cleveland themed, so I can't put out in my regular area. So
We'll
I
get
want
to
to
it
put somewhere in the
someday.
studio.
He'll do it someday.
Somewhere I'll get to it.
Yeah.
Once
Yeah,
he gets once they make when he wins a playoff game, that thing's gonna look good.
You
to
get
me.
to go on the
I mean,
wall.
Nick Chubb is no longer with the Browns.
We can't.
Rich said he's never taking it down. I mentioned it.
I don't think we don't. This is a Hall of Famer, bro.
Yeah,
Come on,
he
come
is
on. In
amazing.
my eyes, it's the love of my life
He is amazing.
from an NFL standpoint. So with Hampton, you know,
So many qualifiers.
Not a romantic standpoint.
with Hampton, you know, you get a team with an amazing offensive line, a run first head coach, a running back that has 3 down capabilities, fantastic burst, can catch the football. Omarion Hampton is in now with the Harris News. It's such a great position. We mentioned Jeanty, like, ready to enter this elite role. There's nothing stopping Omarion Hampton from entering this tier of tier 1 running backs. When people are sitting up on, I could take Jeanty here, but I'm going to take Chase, and I'm just going to get Hampton right behind. Because Bijan here. I'll just take Hampton right after that. He's going to offer that kind of upside in this offense because there's not outside of that, with the Najee injury, there's not much behind him there. And we know the history of first round running backs taken is a pretty high success rate.
I'm really curious to see because this is another one that's like moving constantly in my projections a little bit because this is a team that's going to project close to 500 rush attempts, and if that's the case, like there's going to be a lot of work available for Omarion Hampton if Najee Harris is not taking 100+ rushing attempts. So that's the thing. Like right now, I only have about half of those rush attempts going to Omarion Hampton because it's tough to project anyone close to the 300 mark.
Right.
But you know, he keeps creeping up. My first projections before the news, he was at like 210. Then he went to 225. Now he's creeping up into the 230s. Like if he ends up getting anywhere close to 250 attempts this season or more, like he could just have a truly monster season.
It's not like Najee knows this offense where he can just come back in, no big deal. He doesn't need the reps. Like he's a new player here as well. So, and with the investment in Hampton, if he comes in, he's a guy. There's no need to go back, right? To Najee.
It's a one-year deal.
A spell. He'll just be a spell running back. Maybe they can get some money back too for being a non-football injury as well, and kind of get some of that guaranteed money or any money they gave him already as well back. So yeah, Hampton, somebody could be a massive riser. Like I feel way more comfortable not taking Bijan, not taking Gibbs, and not taking even Jeanty or Achane and grabbing those receivers early and then just go ahead and get in a guy like Omarion Hampton and still feel like I have a very elite running back with the upside there who's going to get the touches and who's on a really good team and who's got a really good offensive line. So, and then you got from a dynasty standpoint, again, another really solid team because you have Ladd McConkey. I was so high on Ladd McConkey coming in the draft last year. I had him ranked
Bet you were
higher.
Panama Red.
I had him higher ranked than most, and he came out and I'm not gonna lie, he exceeded my expectations. 91 catches, 1,346 yards, and 8 touchdowns. Good for wide receiver 11 overall, weeks 1 through 17. And he didn't start humming again until right around week 5, somewhere right around there. I've been paying attention to Ladd McConkey this offseason. He's even saying, man, I expect an even better year 2 because now me and Justin have been working really hard together. We've learned a lot of things about each other, even in this offseason, working out with each other. We expect to see him take another level with his route run and his skill set. I can easily see 110 catches, 1,500 yards for Ladd McConkey, and even outpacing his first year as a rookie higher than wide receiver 11. Same thing how I kind of feel like Hampton weighing on like the running back. I feel very like Ladd McConkey is probably one of the best young receivers that you can get as a wide receiver 1 in probably the high end of the 3rd round of a startup draft. He's one player that I can't gush enough about. And, when you play Dynasty, one of the aspects people don't talk about one of the really fun things is when you are studying prospects and you're watching the prospects and, it's a hard game out there and you kind of like go out on a limb for a player a little bit more and you're higher than the consensus. Same thing like a Devon Achane, right? Like I was higher than consensus on Achane. Guys like we all have our guys like that. Matt was higher than consensus on Justin Jefferson. He'll be able to live on that forever. He's got so many shares. Like, wow, man, I listened to Matt because he told me Justin Jefferson was pretty much his wide receiver 1. Like when those guys do hit, it really does elevate the fun of Dynasty, right?
Absolutely.
And then you have those guys in a roster, like, yeah, man, like I put in the time it worked, it came true.
I'll always love Amon-Ra St. Brown because of it. Like, I get it.
It's like striking out 10 times in a row and then hitting a walk-off grand slam. Like who cares about the strikeouts? Like you remember that grand slam forever. So like Ladd McConkey for me is one of those players really hard to trade for. I thought I'm in a league today where I have Justin Jefferson. I was like, God, I'm willing to trade. Like, what more can I get off this team? And again, every team's different where you can get. Like, what more can I give off this team? Because I know I can get more for Justin Jefferson and Ladd McConkey. But that's a lateral move that I feel comfortable making with the plus. If the plus is right, like a good running back. Like, he's the kind of player where I have no problem tearing down from those Amon-Ra St. Browns, the CeeDee Lambs, those kind of guys that get him plus. Because I feel very comfortable for the next 6-7 years that I'm going to get high-end wide receiver 1 numbers from.
Who else did they have on this team last year? I'm trying to think from a wide receiver standpoint.
Quinn Johnston.
Right. I mean, obviously.
Darius Davis.
Still there. Okay.
Is Josh Palmer still on the team or no?
Josh Palmer.
That's who I was missing in my brain. Yeah. Okay. Josh Palmer. So no one of note.
No, it's
Ladd McConkey.
The same room, just with Trey Harris.
They have Trey Harris now instead. Rich, what do you say if a guy like Trey Harris does emerge this year and start taking targets away and Ladd McConkey kind of drifts back from 11 to like 14, 15, 16? You still feel the same? You still feel good about getting rid of your Justin Jefferson
I don't
shares for a guy like Ladd McConkey?
I think Trey Harris could do nothing but help Ladd McConkey. Trey Harris is a perimeter receiver, big receiver on the outside, kind of like take the top off a little bit, take a little bit of coverage, roll coverage away from him. Just like Omarion Hampton can bring a little bit more coverage up front as well. I think every weapon you can get around Ladd McConkey would do nothing but help him. He's such a savvy route runner. I've said this for years talking about the podcast.
Slot guy, though. You know what I mean? Slot guy.
Hey, in the new NFL, the slot guys win at a very high level, right? So, like, he's such a savvy route runner. I kind of talked about when I was breaking down his profile. These are the guys I love to draft because these are the guys that always get open. So, Trey Harris, to me, like, Trey Harris is totally fine. Like, we know that they want to find that deep threat for this offense. Somebody could take the top off. They tried to get it with Quentin Johnston, didn't work out. They draft Trey Harris. He's a nice perimeter receiver, older receiver, but he did break out in that role and had a really nice campaign at the end of the year. So I think right now, even though he's McConkey, he ran 70% of his routes out of the slot. I'm totally comfortable with that in today's NFL. That's not that works for me. So I think if anything, I think he's the number 1 receiver. Anything else you could do to take more coverage away from Ladd? Because we got to imagine, Ladd did this last year, and he had nothing else around him. The running game was just okay. JK Dobbins got hurt closer to the end of the season. Quinn Johnston was a complete failure. He had nothing else around him. So it was easy to put try and even double coverage Ladd McConkey, but he's such a good route runner. He still got open. So
dude separates. I'm not questioning that.
I'm not worried about that. I think he's going to be the number 1 target in this offense, and I think his targets will go up.
I wanted to voice what I felt was going to be people yelling at our, you know what I mean? Like yelling at us while they're listening to this. The counterpoint of Ladd McConkey.
For what it's worth, I have Ladd McConkey at wide receiver 15 this year. That's where I have him projected.
You're a hater. Your opinion no longer matters.
ADP's 10.
Is anybody moving Puka Nacua? Here's a better example. Is anybody moving Puka Nacua down because they brought in Devontae Adams? No. Does anybody worry? Does anybody not take Jamar Chase as their number 1 receiver because T. Higgins is there? No. I don't. Things like in today's NFL, that does not worry me at all.
You just referenced 2 more prolifically pass-heavy offenses, though, right? And that's the problem. Like, there's only so much going around here as far as passes, and if somebody else establishes themselves then all of a sudden this PPR machine that is Ladd McConkey maybe isn't the machine that we had hoped.
Is anybody moving Zay Flowers down the board because DeAndre Hopkins is
I couldn't move Zay Flowers any farther down. No.
Rich, you're lowest on Ladd amongst us four, and Matt, you're highest. So.
Wait, whoa!
Wait, what? I'm sorry. Flip that around. I meant like number-wise. Matt's at 45 overall. You're at 26.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense.
That makes a lot more sense. Yeah.
I said it wrong.
I was like, whoa, that is a big surprise.
Yeah.
Where do I have him?
Your grandma's dead. To me, because she ate the last cookie. Oh, jeez, Garrett.
Where do I have him?
You have him right with me at 33.
Okay.
Yeah. That's fine.
I mean, we're pretty close.
Yeah, it's nothing crazy. I'm not even gonna say I'm gonna move him up because I'm not.
He's no Mike Williams.
Yeah, he just isn't. I don't know. He's a very good slot guy. I don't see him anywhere near a guy like Justin Jefferson or CeeDee Lamb or any of those guys.
From overall, I get that, but I think Ladd McConkey is gonna. I think he's gonna do better. I mean, and the point is, like, I think he's gonna be a consistent, like, top 10 fantasy receiver, but if I can get him plus another, my point is, I think for that I can get another good player, not like an add-on and like, give me David and Njoku.
And I would be good going. I would be good going the other way. If I could use Ladd McConkey and something to get Justin Jefferson, I'd be over the moon.
Well,
so you guys might be perfect trade partners then.
We all have our guys.
So I have all the Justin Jefferson. He's got all the Ladd McConkey.
Yeah, so there's no deals being done there.
There's nothing there. It's a stalemate.
And like Matt said, definitely pay attention to Arondé Gadsden. He's been back since OTAs. Yep. He's been getting a lot of hype. He's somebody I'm paying heavily attention to. Disley is who he is, just a nice possession receiver. Same like Conklin, a big slow plotter.
Totally. Yep.
So that's it. That's it for the West. We'll be back next week. Some more divisions again. I might not be here next week. More likely than not, I had to get.
See, we might do it early though.
We might do it early.
Oh, we might do it early. Yeah.
Remember?
We might record on Monday. Never mind. My memory's like a fish, dude.
All right.
Come on.
Do they have good memories? I really don't know.
No, bad memories.
Very bad.
Very bad memories.
We'll be back next week with more Dynasty Fantasy Football.
Adios.
How do they know if fish have good memories? Like, who tests that?